Listen, we have always been in America. Watch this.
In 1992, the female scientists who developed the test to test hair for drugs, so that test that people still use, if you're a football player or if you're an athlete or if you're a prison person, they want to see if a prisoner and they want to see if you've been taking drugs, they examine the proteins in your hair and they can see what kind of drugs you've been taking. The woman who developed that test in 1992 found cocaine in the stomach of Ramesses II. And she was so shocked by what she found, because she knows that cocaine comes from America, she tested and retested and retested because she knew she was going to get loads of stick. Then she tested Sudanese mummies and found the same thing. And read what she said. She got hate mail, people cussing her. People were just like, what are you talking about? You're an idiot. A woman whose scientific prowess is there, is there to be attested to. But what she discovered was so upsetting for some people that she was hated on by people who, of course, are nowhere near as scientifically qualified as she is.
This is why they hate when we talk about black presence in America before slavery. They know it's true. That's why they try to hide it.
It comes as a great shock around the age of 5 or 6 or 7 to discover the flag to which you have pledged allegiance, along with everybody else, has not pledged allegiance to you. It comes as a great shock to discover that Gary Cooper killing off the Indians when you were rooting for Gary Cooper, that the Indians were you. That the Indians were you. It comes as a great shock to discover that the country, which is your birthplace, and to which you owe your life and your identity,
I'll start first, who said, Cube, why are you putting Native Americans in here? Why isn't this just for black people?
Well, black people are Native Americans. We've had, a lot of proof that, some of us started here in this land. Everybody wasn't brought over from Africa. So, we have to, like you say, unpack all of that. And try to, find the true lineage of people in this country, because some, I used to tease family members who would say, I got a little Indian in me. I would think they didn't want to be all the way black. But when I really do the research, a lot of them did have a little Indian in them. So, it's one of those things where, we want to be counted on all levels, not just, through slave ships. Like I said, we were here before Columbus. So a lot of us. And so we want to make sure that's included and not excluded.
Ancient black figurines in the Americas. Watch this.
African physical types in ancient America, blacks throughout the third world, because the likelihood is, as has happened in previous centuries, the likelihood is that all of these marvelous pieces which we have seen, and which we have not yet had time to photograph completely and to preserve, may disappear. Von Wutenau has, in addition to these little sculptures, he has a catalogue of everything he has. Brilliant photographs taken by several professionals over the years.
You can't tell me that those were not Negroes, that one of them even had woolly hair. Come on, man, stop it. All right, y'all, check out these black tribes in South America. Watch this.
The Bush Negroes of Dutch Guiana. The approach to this unique land of the Jukas is by way of a treacherous river which rises and falls in accordance with the whimsical rainfall of the tropics and penetrates the darkest recesses of the jungle. The long, hard journey is made by dragging canoes through roaring rapids and over gigantic rocks which occur at frequent intervals along the way. Added to this, the water is infested with a dangerous species of small carnivorous fish which attack in schools and have a preference for human flesh. The jungle which the white men could not conquer took them in and provided them with a hard but a free existence. Even after slavery was abolished in Dutch Guiana, they remained in the wild habitat which they conquered and continue to defy the encroachments of civilization.
These are black tribes that built up civilization in South America and Suriname. Dr. Alfonso de Garay, the director of the genetic program of the National Commission for Nuclear Energy in Mexico, found Negro characteristics in a blood test of Lacandon Indians, one of the most secluded Mayan tribes in Mexico. He found that they had malaria, a mutant gene that transforms into sickle cell, a disease associated with so-called African Americans. Check out how indigenous Americans brought tobacco to Europe.
When you study about American Indians, they should know that the Indians were addicted to nicotine before Columbus landed, and when the early explorers took Indians back to London to exhibit, the Indians insisted on taking along not only their supply of tobacco, but seeds that they could plant so that they could grow more tobacco while they were in England. This is how smoking got started in Europe.
So indigenous Americans brought and started tobacco smoking all throughout Europe. These are black tribes in America before Columbus.
They went out to what is now known as Oceania and became a people known as the Negritos. And they also went towards Mexico and impacted this Olmec civilization. And the reason why we now know that is because there was a genetic trace done. You know about DNA now. That's getting a lot of play in the paper. DNA means you can trace the genetic code of a people. The genetic code of the, and there are still native blacks in Mexico. That's never been explained by archaeologists before Columbus arrived. DNA tests done on them. DNA tests done on the bones of some of the Olmec people, not all of them, the ancient remains, show a definite genetic trace, not to Africa only.
DNA tests show that these were black people in America before Columbus. Watch as this African scholar tells the truth. Watch this.
But many African Americans, you are the Native Americans. You're not even African Americans, you're Native Americans. You're the ones that they brought blankets with, was it smallpox or whatever diseases, and wiped out entire communities because they said they came in peace, but they actually came in war. And they are still warring us right until this day. So there are those beloveds of you who really don't feel any connection to Mama Africa. And this is just, you know, a confirmation, a reassurance that America belongs to you.
So Africans know this history, but nobody else does? Come on, make it make sense. Comment and let me know what y'all think. Hey, yo, shout out to all of my black Indians down there in Louisiana.
On Super Sunday, Bale Kudifayo, Indian. That's when the Indians come out. It's just the Indians. It's nothing but
no
Indians.
Floats to compete with.
No folks to compete with, just us. Wow. So you can stand there and watch all that beauty and pageantry that comes in front of your face. Watch years of resistance that's manifested in creativity. So that act of masking Indian is actually an act of defiance.
Wow.
Because you're saying, during my time when I couldn't go on Canal Street, couldn't drink at your water fountain, couldn't go in Woolworth, I'm a chief. I'm a queen.
Oh, man, that's beautiful, man. Shout out to all of my Indians down in Louisiana. Modern African says black Americans are not Africans.
People out here, what?
The black people ain't Africans.
The black people out here is not from Africa?
They're not from Africa.
Oh, where you from?
I'm from Liberia.
From Liberia. And you trying to tell these people that I'm trying to tell them that they're not African?
They're not.
They are already, I don't know why they don't want to hear.
There was black people already here, bro.
Already here, but they want to say.
And it wasn't even Native American, bro. It was just dark.
Right.
Here. But black people is not from Africa.
Black people is not from Africa.
Yeah, and anybody who said they're from Africa, bro, that's some Africans don't even people from here, bro.
Now you know it's bad when Africans have to tell you that you're not African.
A scene that was shot in Roots after the African, LeVar Burton, had been told that his name was to be Toby. And he refused it, and he was beaten to make him say his name was Toby. And then after he was beaten, he's bloody and all, he was cut down, and he fell into the lap of Lou Gossett, who was playing fiddler. And the emotion of that scene was the most gripping thing I think we witnessed.
That was the dramatization. How much of that actually was recounted to you? I mean, was there a lot of interweaving story, a lot of leeway given in the storytelling?
Oh, you're talking about in the book or the film?
Well,
both?
that your family passed down. I mean, how much
Well,
detail
my family
was really...
what my family passed down was, at best, a skeleton. That's all you could expect of family. What a lot of it, I thought maybe you were going to ask, and maybe you are in another way, is how much of the book is